Patrik Hutzel from intensivecareathome.com, where we provide tailor-made solutions for long-term ventilated adults and children with tracheostomies at home, and where we also provide tailor-made solutions for hospitals and intensive care units at home, whilst providing quality care for long-term ventilated adults and children with tracheostomies at home, otherwise medically complex adults and children at home, which includes home BIPAP, home CPAP, home tracheostomy care for adults and children that are not ventilated, home TPN, home IV potassium infusions, home IV magnesium infusions, as well as home IV antibiotics. We also provide port management, central line management, PICC line management, as well as Hickman's line management, and we also provide palliative care services at home. We're also sending our critical care nurses into the home for emergency bypass services, as we have done so successfully for the Western Sydney Local Area Health District, the In Touch program. We basically cut the cost of an intensive care bed by 50%, and by avoiding emergency department admissions, we're roughly saving $2,000 per ED admission that we are avoiding. Now, today I actually want to look at a client that we are in the process of assessing for home care, and I want to talk more about the medical history so that, you know, families, patients, but also health professionals understand our capabilities for home care. So this is actually a lady in her 70s who's got a history of seizures, focal motor seizure, acute respiratory failure. She's got apnea. She's got a history of subarachnoid hemorrhages. She's got renal impairment, and she's got coronary artery disease. So she's been stuck in ICU for months on end. She still has a high white cell count. I'm just reading out the medical report here. But white cell count is improving, and it's decreased from 19.7 to 17.1. The CRP is still high as well, but also decreasing again. White cell count and CRP are signs of infection markers. And this is the issue in ICU, that patients are much more prone to an infection than they are in a home care environment, because ICUs are quote unquote dirty, which means they're full of infections, full of bacteria, full of virus. And, you know, as soon as you take a patient out of ICU, they're much less prone to infections, especially when patients are tied to a ventilator. This lady is in respiratory failure and can't come off the ventilator. Now, here's another. The report continues. The arterial blood gas was done on the 16th of September, which was adequate. The recent CT chest showed mild basilar atelectic changes, but no definite infiltrates were noted. The patient cannot be weaned off the ventilator. She becomes apneic, stops breathing, and takes a few shallow breaths, which is more due to central neurological problems. The ICU doctors advised to continue the current management. The vital signs of the patient are acceptable within the normal ranges, except for high blood pressure readings, 183 over 101 or 184 over 93. Temperature is 36.4 Celsius, heart rate is 76, blood pressure and oxygen saturation 100%. The patient is on medications for her high blood pressure, such as hydralazine, 10 milligram, 0.5 mils, IV push every 4 hours as needed, PRN, amlodipine, 5 milligram oral tablets. We continue observing and monitoring her and report to the doctors for early warning signs and abnormal changes in the patient's behavior, level of consciousness, persistent elevation or low blood pressure, heart rate, and other vital parameters for rapid interventions and management. Hemoglobin and hematocrit are stable. Sodium is 145, potassium is 3.6, chloride is 110, carbon dioxide is normal. BUN is high, alkaline phosphatase is normal, AST, ALT, glucose, creatinine, all normal. Albumin is 3.46, it's a little bit on the low side. Magnesium is normal. And medications the patient is on: atorvastatin, atropine is needed, Dulcolax, laxative, Duonep, Keppra, lactulose, lansoprazole, magnesium sulfate, potassium chloride, scopolamine, Tylenol, valproic acid, vancomycin, Vimpat, zinc oxide. So these are all things that can be done at home. There's absolutely no need to stay in intensive care at this particular point in time. And it's simply that after weeks and months in ICU and having shown the inability to be weaned off the ventilator, and departments of health insurances paying $5,000 to $6,000 per bed day, whilst having the inability to use this intensive care bed for other patients in need of higher acuity critical care, it only makes sense that patients and families finally can go home, because we know from this family, they're spending day and night in ICU, and they will be so much better off at home. It is just common sense to free up the bed, cut the cost by 50%, free up the staff in ICU as well, and get the bed used for surgical patients that come through the emergency department or the emergency rooms, and so forth. So with intensive care at home, we're currently operating all around Australia in all major capital cities, as well as all regional and rural areas. We are an NDIS approved service provider in Australia, TAC and WorkSafe in Victoria, ICARE in New South Wales, NIISQ in Queensland, as well as the DVA all around the country. Our clients also receive funding through public hospitals, private health funds, as well as departments of health. We are the only provider in Australia in 2024 that has achieved third-party accreditation for intensive care at home nursing. No other provider has created this much intellectual property for intensive care at home nursing than we have. We are therefore employing hundreds of years of intensive care and critical care nursing experience combined in the community. No other provider brings that level of expertise in the community than we do. And if you're at home already, or you are stuck in ICU, like the example that I gave today, you're stuck in ICU on a ventilator, tracheostomy, BIPAP, CPAP, home TPN, whatever the case may be, and you realize that your current setup is not working, or you are stuck in ICU and you want to go home and you're wondering whether it's all possible, I can assure you it is. And then I encourage you to reach out to us here at intensivecarehome.com, call us on one of the numbers on the top of our website, or send us an email to info@intensivecarehome.com. The reality is that in order to go home on a ventilator with a tracheostomy, you must have intensive care or critical care nurses 24 hours a day, as is evidence-based, as per the mechanical home ventilation guidelines that we publish on our website. Just on one of my recent videos, I mentioned that we have been made aware that another client in the community passed away because they didn't have critical care nurses 24 hours a day. Support workers, once again, didn't know how to manage medical emergency on a ventilator with a tracheostomy. It is absolute madness to let support workers look after an intensive care patient. That is absolute and utter madness, and it needs to stop. And funding bodies, including the NDIS, need to be held accountable for it before more damage is done and before more patients are dying. And if you are at home already and you think you don't have enough funding, don't worry about it. We can help you with funding. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in business. The NDIS and other funding bodies do fund 24-hour critical care nurses. Just comes down to the right level of advocacy, which leads me that we're also providing level 2 and level 3 NDIS support coordination. Our NDIS support coordinator is Amanda Riches and her team, and I've put a link to Amanda's interview that I've done in the written version of this blog, and you can watch the video there. We also have Rosie Hammer in New South Wales, and we also provide TAC case management in Victoria. And if you're an NDIS support coordinator watching this and you're looking for nursing care for your participants, please reach out to us as well. If you're looking for more funding for more nursing care for your participants and you don't know how to go about it and what evidence to provide, I also encourage you to reach out to us. We can help you with the advocacy, and we also provide NDIS specialist nursing assessments done by critical care nurses with a legal nurse consultancy background. And if you are a critical care nurse and you're looking for a career change, we're currently offering jobs for critical care nurses in the home in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, in Albury, Wodonga, in Bendigo in Victoria, as well as in Warragul in Victoria and in Geelong in Victoria. If you have worked in critical care for a minimum of 2 years, pediatric ICU, ED, and you have already completed a postgraduate critical care qualification, we will be delighted to hear from you. I have a disclaimer though, because we are offering a tailor-made solution for our clients, which includes regular staff. Our clients want the same staff coming over and over again because they are so vulnerable and so special. It's all about building critical relationships with our clients and with our team members and having regular and stable teams. That means if you are looking for casual or agency work where you can come and go, intensive care at home may not be the right fit for you on a long-term basis because our clients want the same stuff over and over again. So it's all about building those critical relationships with our clients and their families. And we want to build relationships with you as well, of course, so that it remains a win-win situation. And if you're an intensive care specialist or an ED specialist, we also want to hear from you. We are currently expanding our medical team as well. We can also help you eliminate your bed blocks in ICU, ED, for your long-term patients or for your regular readmitted patients. We're here to help you to take the pressure off your ICUs and ED beds, and in most cases, you won't even pay for it. If you're a hospital executive watching this and you have bed blocks in your ICU, ED, and respiratory wards, please reach out to us as well. We can help you. Lastly, if you're in the US or in the UK and you're watching this and you need help, we want to hear from you as well. We can help you there privately. Once again, contact us at intensivecareathome.com. Call us on one of the numbers on the top of our website or simply send us an email to info@intensivecareathome.com. And if you like my videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel for regular updates for families with intensive care at home and intensive care. Click the like button, click the notification bell, share this video with your friends and families, and comment below what you want to see next, what questions and insights you have from this video. I also do a weekly YouTube live where I answer your questions live on a show, and you will get notification for the YouTube live if you're a subscriber to my YouTube channel or if you are a subscriber to our email newsletter at intensivecareathome.com. Thank you so much for watching. This is Patrik Hutzel from intensivecareathome.com, and I will talk to you in a few days. Take care for now.